everyone, it's Karen from the Geordie Grandma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to week 7 of the Summer Body Challenge in collaboration with the Transatlantic Housewives of YouTube, who are myself, at Busy Bee Marie, at Tina's Talk Time and at Maria Crocker. We're all over 50. We decided to get together and try and lose some weight and get fit for the summer. And hopefully we'll just continue it after the 10 weeks. So we're on week 7. I'll put the links into the other ladies' channels below so you can go and have a look at how they're doing when you've watched me. So yeah, week 7, I can't believe it's been that amount of weeks already. It's gone really quick. I had lost £7 and then I put, not last week, I lost £7 altogether over the 7 weeks. But then I put some weight on last week. I think I put 2 3/4 pounds on. So we'll show the weigh-in at the end and you can see whether I lost weight this week. So my week was fairly good. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. I'm doing a low-carb eating plan. So I'm trying to cut down on potatoes, bread, pasta, rice, crisps, chocolate, cakes, biscuits, anything that's got carbs in. I'm trying to stick to under 130 grams of carbs a day, and some days I am, when I'm counting them, I am going quite low, maybe down to 40, 50 grams of carbs, which I'm finding a little bit too low for me. The main reason that I wanted to do the low carb is if you've been watching these videos over the last 7 weeks, you'll know it's because I want to get my type 2 diabetes under control, which seems to be getting into a better position. I take finger prick blood tests and it does seem to be getting better. I've just booked in my HbA1c blood test with the doctors next week, so the following week I should be able to tell you what the situation is on that. So yeah, I've had a fairly good week. I have eaten some nice meals as usual. I'll show you some pictures of what I ate. I bought some new pizza bases. We did have low carb pizza bases a few weeks ago, and I think I showed a picture of that on one of my videos. But they were a little bit chewy, the buns and the pizza bases that I'd bought. So from the same company, which is called Ketoroma. I'll put the links below to that as well. I decided to try it's panda flour pizza base and buns, and these were a lot nicer. They're not chewy. It does pretty much taste like, real wholemeal bread, possibly. I'll just show you the pizza bases. I have had them in the freezer. So that's what the pizza bases look like. They do have seeds in. They're quite thin. There's 3 in a pack. I think they work out at about £2 a pizza base, which is a little on the expensive side. But, if you're trying to do low carb, then maybe it's worth it. We put them in the oven for, I think, 10 to 15 minutes with our own toppings on. And they do go quite crispy. And I found those much nicer than the previous ones. But weren't actually like the previous one, which was a thicker crust. But I like thin crust anyway, so I like those. I would get them again. And they have, in 100 grams, I'm not sure how much is in each one, maybe around 100 grams. There's under 1 gram of carbohydrate in, 9 grams of protein, and 191 calories if you're counting the calories. I just wanted to mention, I'm not sure if I said in my video last week that it doesn't matter about counting calories when you're doing low carb. If I did say that, I can't remember saying it, but if I did say it, that's not what I meant. Of course, if you want to lose weight, you have to think about how many calories you're eating, because if you eat too many calories, no matter what kind of diet you're doing, you're going to put weight on. So you do have to keep a check on your calories. So thanks to that subscriber who pointed that out. I'm really sorry if I misled anybody. I'm not a medical professional in any way. I'm only doing this, for myself, and it's only my experiences that I talk about, and sometimes I say things wrong. So yeah, that's the pizza bases. I also tried the panda bread buns because I found the previous buns really, really chewy, and is a bread that didn't work for me. So I tried the panda bread buns again. This had been in the freezer. They're a nice size bun. They've got seeds on. and they were really nice. They are definitely the best bread substitute I've ever had. I'd quite happily eat a sandwich with those buns. So highly recommend those. Again, that's under 1 grams of carbs, 9 grams of protein, and 191 calories. So exactly the same as the pizza bases per 100 grams, I suppose, because they're made from the same stuff. So I forgot to take a photo of the pizzas, but the pizzas were really nice. I said last week that I was going to plan and I was going to work out what I was going to eat each day, and I actually did that this week, and pizzas were on the plan. Something else that was on the plan was a kedgeree made with cauliflower rice. I put the picture in here. I didn't like it at all. I do like kedgeree, but I don't know whether we cooked the cauliflower rice wrong. I don't know whether I'd kind of riced it too much and it was too small. It just tasted dry, and no, I didn't like that, so I won't be having that again. We had something called a cheese loaf, which was made with halloumi cheese. Again, I'll put the picture in here. That was really nice. That was very tasty, and it was quite a big portion, each portion. So I would definitely make that again. I also had pancakes, keto pancakes, a couple of times for breakfast, which I find, really tasty, and you don't feel like you're being restricted at all eating those. They are really nice. I do like pancakes, and the keto ones I'm quite happy with. I had some berries and some yogurt on that, so that was really nice. I had an omelette for breakfast one morning, cheese and mushroom omelette, which is quick and easy to make. It's even quicker and easier to make for me because I don't make it. Warren does them. So yeah, very quick and easy. So omelettes are always a good choice. Eggs are a good choice basically if you're doing low carb. I've had what I've heard is called a Buddha bowl. I'll put a picture here for my lunch, and basically it's just a salad, but you put it in a bowl and you kind of put it into little portions around the bowl, so it looks very colourful. I'm not sure whether a Buddha bowl is supposed to be meat free, fish free. I don't know whether a Buddha bowl is supposed to be vegan. And I think they call a one with meat or fish a poke bowl, but I'm calling it a Buddha bowl because it didn't have any meat or fish in this one. I had hard-boiled eggs, some baby bell cheeses, some edamame beans, some red cabbage, some spinach and watercress in there. Can't remember what else. Tomatoes, and that was really tasty. And I had a little dressing on of just some olive oil with some lime juice and some salt and pepper in, and that was really tasty. I had that for my lunch, and I think that's the nicest thing I've eaten in a couple of weeks actually for my lunch, so I'll definitely make some more of those. So those were the nice meals that I ate this week. I found it difficult to fit exercise in this week, I have to say, because working full time, I'm getting up quite early in the morning to have breakfast properly, sit at the table, so I feel like I'm eating something, and by the time I come in from work after 5 o'clock, I really can't be bothered to exercise. But I am walking to work, so that is some exercise, but I do need to plan in some proper exercise into what I'm doing, and hopefully that'll help boost the weight loss and help reduce my blood sugar as well. Now each week we like to focus on a different topic. And this week we're focusing on processed food, or not eating processed food. And I have to say that doing a low carb diet, you don't really eat a lot of processed foods, because I'm cutting out, crisps and chocolate and sweets and cakes and biscuits and snacky foods. I'm not really eating a lot of processed foods, so that's a good thing. I haven't really got a lot to say about processed foods, to be honest. I used to eat a lot of processed foods. I used to eat a lot of ready meals. I ate a lot of snacky foods. I ate a lot of donuts. So all things that are, very processed. So moving to the low carb diet was a really good way of cutting processed foods out. So I can recommend it for that. But I think most proper diets these days, so things like Slimming World and things like that, are quite nutritionally well balanced, and you're not going to eat a lot of processed foods on them. There is a big emphasis on cooking food yourself, which I don't really like cooking, but Warren likes to cook, so we do get a lot of unprocessed meals. I mean, everything is processed in some way, because even just adding, you know, if you have milk and sugar in your tea, that's processing it, isn't it? It is a process. So I think when they say processed food, they're talking about additives and A numbers and sweeteners and things that aren't good for you. And because I was focusing on processed foods this week, there was a program on BBC. It was a panorama program called Ultra Processed Foods and the Damage It's Doing to Us. So I thought I'd watch it. It was only half an hour long. You know, go and watch it if you're interested in that kind of thing. I don't know how helpful I found it, talking about processed foods. There was a lot of scientific stuff on there, and a lot of things about people who worked for the food industry and stuff like that. And I didn't feel like there was a lot of information about ultra processed foods, really. You know, they said, you know, eating things like chicken nuggets and donuts and sweetened yogurts isn't really good for you, which we knew anyway. They did talk about aspartame, which they said was bad for you. There was a scientist on there who's been studying aspartame and the effects of it on people for 14 years. They haven't got no definitive evidence, but they reckon, you know, it could increase your risk of cancer and tumours and things like that. But I always take these things with a pinch of salt, no pun intended, because you know, scientific evidence seems to change quite often. I mean, go back 50 years and a fried cooked breakfast was good for you, then muesli was good for you, then eggs were bad for you. So it seems to be something different all the time. But I think we all know that processed food is, you know, not good for if we have it all the time. I mean, I've seen my grandchildren when they have sweets, and they can go from being very placid, well-mannered children to being absolute crazy little things. They really can, after they've had sweets or chocolate. So there is an effect, but I think it's with all things in moderation. You know, if you have a ready meal once every couple of weeks, or if you have a donut every now and again, I don't think it's going to do you much damage. Do you? I mean, do you think like that, or do you think if you took notice of everything they said you shouldn't do, you wouldn't be doing anything, would you? You wouldn't get out of bed. So that's my take on processed foods. There was also something else. There was one of the scientists said, and she said basically, if anything says low, reduced, or no on it, so, you know, low sugar, reduced fat, or whatever, then she said she would always be suspicious of it, because if they've took out the stuff that makes something taste nice, what have they put in instead? That's why there's always loads of ingredients on the back of products like that. And I quite agreed with her on that. I've always thought anything that says low sugar, low fat, is going to have a lot of sugar in it. But then I don't go around reading the packets of stuff. So that's me just rambling about processed food. Processed food is not good for you if you eat it every day. So try and cook some fresh things. We also have a guest joining us this week, Becky Bartlam. She's going to share a video of 5 unprocessed food meals with us. She has a channel on YouTube called @BeckyBartlam, so I'll put the link in the description below, and here she is now to describe exactly what she's going to do.
Hello everyone, my name is Becky and my channel is Becky Bartlam. I'm so excited to be working with the Transatlantic Housewives of YouTube this week. They have kindly asked me to create 5 meal ideas for you guys using non-processed food. Now, I create meals of the week videos every week on my channel, but I'm looking forward to taking up the challenge of using non-processed food. So yeah, I can't wait to see what I come up with, and if you would like to see my meal ideas, then do head over to my channel. But yeah, enjoy all of the ladies summer body challenge videos this week. I know I love watching them, and it's definitely given me the motivation to lose some weight myself before summer. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Enjoy the videos. Goodbye everyone.
So here's me weighing for this week. I lost 1.5 pound this week. Considering I put 2 3/4 on last week, it would have been nice to lose the 2 3/4, but I'm happy with the 1.5 pound. So that's 6 pounds I've lost altogether in 7 weeks, which I'm really happy with. I think I've toned up as well though, because me legs and me butt definitely feel tighter, and me clothes are fitting us a lot better as well. So I'm happy with that. So £6 altogether, I'm happy. I hope if anybody's following along with our summer body challenge, how are you doing? Let us know in the comments below. Have you lost weight? Have you put on weight? Are you feeling better? I'm definitely feeling better. I'm not as tired, and I do feel like my skin looks a bit better as well. I'm going to be 60 in 2 weeks' time. I don't feel like I look 60. Some mornings I feel, my body feels like I'm 60, but I don't always feel like I look 60. So maybe the diet contributing to that as well. I can't remember what it is we're doing next week. I'm sure one of the other ladies will have remembered, so don't forget to go over and watch at Maria Crocker, at Tina's Talk Time, and at Busy Bee Marie to see how they've done this week and get their take on processed food. It might be more informative than mine was. I usually say what I've learned this week, and I think what I've learned is I'm not really keen on cauliflower rice. Occasionally I don't mind it, but I don't think I can be eating it constantly. And I think when you take out, you know, the bread, the pasta, the rice, the potato, what would have been the main part of my meal, it's quite difficult, especially when I don't eat meat. It is quite difficult. So I think I might have to introduce like a small baked potato into an evening meal every now and again, or maybe some pasta. I probably won't go over the 130 grams of carbs even if I ate that. So I definitely think I'm going to have to start introducing some kind of carbohydrate into my food so I don't get bored, because I have found over the 7 weeks there have been days where I've thought, oh God, I can't stand cauliflower rice again. I can't cope with it. I need something that feels like I'm eating proper food. So yeah, I may introduce something like that in again. What are your opinions on that? You know, especially if you're doing keto. I know if you're doing keto, it's a little bit different because you do stop craving things like that. But I really can't do keto. I have done it before, but it's too restricting for us. I don't want to spend the rest of my life, you know, not eating the odd peach melba or, you know, fish and chips. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to go out and have a nice meal or an afternoon tea occasionally if I want to. Not all the time, obviously, because it will affect me diabetes, but I can't restrict myself for the rest of my life. Let us know what you think about that in the comments. Like I say, I can't remember what it is next week. I'm not sure if it's we're talking about dairy. Could be. I'll let you know in the description box. So that's all I've got for you this week. I think it's been a little bit quicker and a little bit more rushed than normal because I wasn't prepared at all this week for this week's video. So hopefully next week will be better. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. So bye for now.